Alright, I'll show you my Ragnarok bases. Looking me up? Frigid? Looking me up? Alright. It's getting kind of dark, so I'm gonna have to spawn me in a little light up shoulder companion.
I like that. I like that. These are suicide bombers.
Those are the breeders for the suicide bombers.
What?
Those are the breeders for the suicide bombers. The little ones next to them, however, those are the ones that are growing.
Let me know when they come together.
You can name them whenever. Alright. So, this is my most recent build, inspired by the cave that I'm currently in with my husband on the PvP server, but also inspired by some other things that I did on Primitive Plus. No, this is not Primitive Plus. I've built out of tech as per the shiny floors, and the fact that that's shiny as well over there. There's nothing really in the back room yet. Haven't worked on it. Put the Shinehorn down there. I actually kind of made it so the piping looked like it belonged. You'll see what that is too later. Kitchen. I haven't finished placing stuff yet. I just kind of was throwing stuff together. This is a bedroom. And that's what the piping goes to. The toilet and this outlet. Which I kind of have it set up so it's kind of like a shower, but it doesn't matter. What?
Our dire bear died by a saber tooth.
Our dire bear died? I don't know what's wrong with them.
I'm gonna go check.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Because I don't know why they're not why they're not defending themselves. I whistled aggressive on all of them. I don't know what's wrong. Let's see. No, I don't wanna use this right now. Okay, I'm gonna take my Quetzal, my tech Quetzal, and I'm going to fly to my next base. On passive, I whistled aggressive. Turn him aggressive.
I'm putting him on aggressive.
Yeah, do that. Now, I don't have all three of them spawned in, but I did spawn in the Titans. I had a build issue with one of them. Are you still watching, Frigid? Okay, it doesn't show anybody watching me, that's why I ask. There's two of the Titans that came with the Extinction DLC. I think one of them is the Frost, and the other one is the Forest. The mech that you're about to see me approach is also from Extinction DLC. It has 3 attachments: a shield, a missile launcher, which launches missiles in multiple different directions and kind of just AoE damage, and then one where you're turned into a large-ass sniper turret, basically. I may show those to you in a little bit, if you're interested. But I'm going to show you my base. This is the original base that I built for this map, with some tweaks after they added some things, but you know, otherwise it's pretty well the original base itself. I did move a lot of dinos away from here when I built another base, which I will show you that later as well. They're not loading in quite properly, but I have a couple of Tech Rexes and a couple of Rock Drakes with Tech saddles on them. Frickin' Dilophosaurus. By the way, you want to be careful around Dilophosauruses and Troodons when you're coming across them in the wild. Troodons, you only really notice them at night with their glowing eyes. They're small. They will knock you out. Dilophosaur, they spit and make you blind. This here is the most recent, is one of the recent things they added with the latest update, where it is a dedicated storage. You put a resource of one kind into it, and that's it, but it holds a mess ton of that resource, as you'll notice how much storage there is. Like I said, lots of capacity. Alright, I'll just head up these stairs now. Stairs were, like I said, something recent. Also, when they brought out the stairs, they made it so that the stairs, you could snap the railings to it. You couldn't snap sloped railings before. They did add the taxidermy thing, where basically if you kill something or if you have a tame of it, you can slap it with the taxidermy tool, and you have taxidermy things that you can put on a base. And they have Oh yeah. Yeah, I was so happy about that. Now, the taxidermy, they do have multiple different stances that you can put them into. as you can see with the Ekus. I have 4 of them. 2 of them are aberrants, but you can't tell that on the taxidermy, unfortunately. You know, it's quite nice what they added. With the stairs, this looks more natural right here, the way it is. I'll go ahead and spawn in some railings real quick. And show you what I'm talking about, being able to spawn, to snap them to the stairs. There we go. It's a sloped railing. And it looks so much better now because of it. And I have some places where I need to put the sloped railing. Now, Tech is the only tier where the doors will auto open and close. You cannot auto open and close any other door. At least on this game. Conan, all doors open and close. Well, close automatically for you, but you know.
Yeah, all of our dinosaurs were on aggressive. No one changed.
Good. I don't know why they were on passive. Let's see. Oh, Tech feeding trough, by the way, is way better than just a regular feeding trough. The stuff lasts a whole hell of a lot longer, and it holds a whole hell of a lot more in its inventory than the original. Why is that wyvern all the way out here? Can you park it? Thank you. Than the original feeding trough. Let's see. I did switch all of my walls. There, it used to be each individual little section you see was in fact a single structure. They recently added a structure called large walls of whatever material you happen to be building out of. Exception for Primitive Plus, where Primitive Plus does not, the Primitive Plus ones do not have large walls. They don't seem to be paying much attention to Primitive Plus recently, but but the large walls, each of those sections, 4 of them tall, not wide but tall, is a single structure. Same snap points as a regular wall, but it's fewer structures placed, which helps with bigger builds. I've got my wyverns, but it's kind of dark and you can't really see them. Sorry about that. Fire wyvern. I custom colored all of my all my dinos. Poison wyvern, lightning, and frost came with the map Ragnarok. You can't get it anywhere else. There's my Giga with a skeleton saddle, or not saddle, but costume. Gigas are dangerous to have, by the way, on a PvP server especially, because if they take too much damage, they will turn on their owners. It's kind of painful in that aspect. You have to kind of house them in a separate area. Got another baby? If you want to raise it, you can. You're gonna have to make sure you put enough meat on it every so often, though. I ain't touching it. The Managmar is basically like not quite a frost drake. I guess it's a frost drake, but it came with extinction. It's interesting. It's got frost breath. It kind of boosts around, kind of like you're wearing a piece of the chest piece for the tech armor. And as long as you have the stamina for it, it'll just, you can boost left to right and just keep flying. Otherwise, it's a glider like the rock drake, because the rock drake is a glider. What? Did it die? Yeah, you want to put the meat in before you name it, honey. Did you go to the griffin? Or not the griffin, but the, wyvern? Okay. Let's see. Oh yes, there's this goofy little creature here that came with extinction. The gas bags. It inhales air. It can fly, but it's like still a little difficult to do. I don't have much practice, at least anyways. And it also has a air blast attack as long as it has still has some air sucked in. On to my next base. Bit of a ways away. If it weren't for the lag that is caused, I would probably go ahead and just use my tech teleporter. But due to the lag that is caused, I'm not doing that. Now, I have noticed that the Tech Quetz has more speed, especially since a while ago they took away being able to alter the flying dino's movement speed. The Tech Quetzal has more speed than the regular Quetzal, so keep that in mind whenever you want to tame a Quetzal. Because Quetzals, they are very useful in the fact that you can build, that you can put a platform saddle on them, and platform saddles, you can build structures on them. And therefore, like, if you build the right kind of structures, you can actually carry multiple dinos on its back, basically. With the saddle. And that's good for, like, say you're transporting a bunch of small dinos, or if you're taking an Anky and a Doedicurus for metal and stone and obsidian and whatnot. Platform saddle on a Quetz, very useful for that purpose. I do apologize, I'm still very tired. The thing is, I tend to run most of my day, like, in a half asleep days. So, it's not a big surprise. Now, this is probably my biggest build on this map in sheer size. I actually when I was putting roof on it, I reached max structures and had to take all roof off of it, so it's just this flat, large structure. I couldn't finish this until I put until I took the roof off, in fact. But it is my biggest structure on this map. Here's Velonosaur came with Extinction. It's actually kind of fun. Basic swing attack. Flail about. It actually shoots like thorns off of it or something like that. It does a lot of AoE damage. And then let's see, hit L1 and you go into turret mode, and it just shoots it from its face, basically. And then back out of that. I obviously have a couple of Tech Raptors here. Dire Wolves, Ravagers. Ravagers actually came with the Aberration DLC, which was nice. Iguanodon, by the way, is really good for getting berries. And if you need seeds and you don't have them, but you have a lot of berries, if you want seeds for berries anyways, you just kind of throw the berries into its inventory and you tell it to turn them into seeds. It'll basically turn all of them into seeds. Ikus, they're kind of a mobile smithy. Not as much so in my opinion, but you know. Tapejara and Griffin are the two most mobile when it comes to or maneuverable, because you can fly side to side and up and down a lot more easily than you can with any other flyer. Now, Snow Owl came with Extinction as well, and the Snow Owl has a couple of interesting features like heat vision. And you can freeze either an enemy or an ally, and if it's an ally or self, it will heal you. Hence the green mist on it and the plus signs, the health plus signs on it. But it also removes any capability to move while healing. On the Snow Owl, one of the biggest things you want to level up is the stamina. I think I'll just leave it alone so I can eat. Oh, it's not within reach. Damn. That should fix it. There we go. Now I can eat. Let's see. There's the Therizino I was telling you about. Good for collecting fiber or quickly collecting lots of wood, but it does not have like any boost towards carrying that stuff, so it gets weighed down pretty quickly. Let's see. My favorite addition with Extinction is the Enforcer. And here, the bones. I made the costume. Managed to obtain enough bones for it, so I made the costume. Besides, you were looking in the wrong pot at that point. This has the capability to teleport up walls and stuff. A total of 5 times. At least until its cooldown is done. You can also kind of sidestep on it. So yeah, that's that. Let's see. I don't think there was much else additional. I don't seem to have even put. Oh, nope, there's the bed. Yeah, that's about it. All I have to show on here for you, Frigid. Absolutely. Yeah, these are. This is the kind of fun I have. I'm sorry I don't sound very excited, but you know. Yeah, I sound very boring though too, to anybody else who is watching. Yes, by the way, there is a poop feature, hence the toilets at the other base. The poop actually goes towards making fertilizer for planting. That I can best show on my islands map. Gathering fiber, hun? Are we low on it? You didn't check the fiber bin? Last I checked, we still had quite a bit.
Pick up some more.
Okie dokie. Let's see. I'll just go to my islands map where most of my dinos are spawned in. Most of the dinos that exist, besides the DLC ones. Not all of them. I have this set up for mostly for learning, but I don't have every dino spawned. I mean, when you've reset it a couple of times and spawned in as many dinos as I have, it gets old after a while. So, you know, you tend to not want to spawn them in nearly so often. I even only have, like, one water dino. And I used to have, like, a whole bunch of them, including some alphas that I force tamed and threw a saddle on instead of, you know, regular tame, because you cannot tame the ones that specifically say alpha in their name. It's not, the game just doesn't let you do that. So when you do see one that specifically says that it's an alpha, you know that I did it for shits and giggles more than anything. Let's see. Why? Oh, that's right. I was testing with my husband. I was testing something. Which means my husband's locked out over here. So follow. Follow all. Alright, time to head for one of my bases. I have 2 bases on this map. Well, technically like 4 or 5 if you count my underwater ones. Oh, get back here, little one. What? Um, that's quite interesting, isn't it, hon?
What's more interesting is that there's a couple dinosaurs outside.
Those, are you talking about green names?
Yes.
Those aren't. That's not completely outside. There's another set of gates. That's our gigas. Yeah, my husband decided to test on my single player, so because there's like no damage done if I do it that way. With the compies, he figured out quite happily that you can throw C4 onto a compy, send it into an enemy, and blow it up quite easily. In fact, a group of them will do a lot of damage to a Bronto, which has a huge health pool. Yes, I named it Magic School Bus, by the way, because it has a saddle. In fact, it's the only saddle you can put on it. And its biggest usefulness is that you can carry 10 people at once on it. That's about it. That's about its usefulness. It has a attack, but that attack doesn't really do much. Except pushing enemies back. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that thing. Yes, it's a big build. Not as big as the other one, though. But I'm fixing to fly somewhere. So I need to go up top here. I will eventually later on show you the different the multitude of different dinos that do exist, if you're interested, at least the ones I've spawned. But for now, I'm just gonna show you the farming, which is at my other base. Somewhere back there is an alpha raptor, though. I will say that I miss the way the volcano used to be. It used to be the biggest point where you could get metal and obsidian, and maybe not the biggest point for crystal. That's more in the tundra area, but you know, it was still a very good point to get those two resources anyways. Now, they took that out. They turned it into more of a live volcano that has lava in it and whatnot. And it's the entrance to a tech cave. There's a lot of caves where you can explore and get like certain I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I'm drawing a blank on what they're called. Artifacts. Certain artifacts. You can venture into the caves. They're very dangerous, but you can venture into the caves and obtain artifacts. Well, that cave at the volcano is not one of those kind of things. In fact, that's where you're likely to use some artifacts to open it. And you go to ascend, which is basically, well, I won't do too much in the way of spoilers, honestly. But you go through a large, long cave And when... No. No. That's not what Ascend is. The only way you can craft better gear in this game is to get the blueprints from drops. Or dinos. Sometimes it's off of dinos. But most often it's from, it's drops. Alright. You'll note that I also very much enjoy having griffins. Now, I do custom color most of my dinos, but I have this issue with the single player where griffins, I can custom color them, but you can when I log back in, you don't really notice the custom color because it doesn't stay there. You can barely tell that it was there to begin with. Looks like it's been a little while since I took care of these properly. Whoops. But you have to have water running to them, which I do. You got to irrigate them. These crops that you see, they are not. You have to plant them in order to obtain the product of them. Otherwise, certain things you cannot make. Things that require these. You just will not be able to make stuff that require these unless you plant them and grow them. And again, I've irrigated in here as well. Kind of basic. This is how you make fertilizer. You use thatch and, like I said, poop. I haven't noticed any difference when it comes to whether it's human feces, like from yourself or from your little monkey shoulder companion, which those exist, or from dinos, large or small. I haven't noticed if the fertilizer is different. Honestly, I don't think it is. Fertilizer is fertilizer, you know. So that's my two bases. There is underwater base capability, and if you'd like, I can show you that real quick once I get back to my other base. I know, all you see is like a white screen right now. But that's because I have my gamma all the way up, because at night it gets dark. And I got tired of having to have a torch every time it was nighttime. Now that was before they added the little shoulder companions that light up. Like the glow horns, or you know, the glow tails, stuff like that. Shine horns, my bad. Feather lights, bulb dogs, and glow tails. I believe that's what they are all. My game crashed. Wonderful. I'll have to show you again later, or some more stuff later. But that's basically it. I even managed to show you some of the building of it because, you know, placing those railings. Some things snap to each other, and some things